So we're going to start out with The Lovely Bones. And that's directed by Peter Jackson and stars Mark Wahlberg. Here's a clip for that. All right, so The Lovely Bones is a movie about a young girl, aged 14, who is murdered by a serial killer. And her ghost is trying to communicate with her father/family to bring justice about. And it just kind of also follows the storyline of the family through its grievances and the mother-in-law moving in, played by Susan Sarandon. And just the hardships that happens when, you know, in the 70s when nothing can go wrong, something does go wrong because everyone's too trusting. This was another terrible Peter Jackson movie.
Oh, I wondered how you were going to feel.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead.
I'm already biased because it's Peter Jackson. And this is as if Peter Jackson and Thomas Kincaid made a love child. It is over the top, completely CGI, insipid, stolen from What Dreams May Come material.
Okay.
Followed by Peter Jackson's awful storytelling. I mean, this little girl, you know, is trusting, so she ends up in this pit with a serial killer, and you know, then it goes into this long, drawn-out plot, which is stolen again by the invisible of a ghost trying to help, but it is based off of a book, and I did not read the book, so I'm not sure. I can't if I can't blame Peter Jackson or.
I've heard that the book is
author.
Actually a lot more graphic and violent.
Oh, see, that would have been even better. Oh, this movie was so cheesy. I mean, it was. I mean,
It had a little bit of a Lifetime feel.
yeah. I mean, Law
Yeah.
and Order was grungier. I mean, yeah, it's so real and stuff. And then this movie was like, well, we want to have this scary plot, but we're gonna make it happy at the same time. I mean, it's really bright and vivid colors and stuff, which I enjoyed. And there was a lot of somewhat interesting things going on with the, you know, Mark Wahlberg breaking down, and Susan Sarandon's character is just hilarious. Just this mother that's like, get over it.
Stanley
And she's-
Tucci as the serial killer.
Yeah,
I thought he stole the show.
he was pretty amazing.
He was creepy.
Yeah, no.
What
the
grade did you
comb-over.
give it?
Oh, I definitely gave this one a C+.
C+. Okay. So terrible movie.
Terrible movie, but not,
That's not
so
bad.
that you can't rent it and at least enjoy it.
2.7 or something like that.
Yeah, you don't want to.
I gave it a C+ too.
Oh, there you go.
But I think I'm not biased against Peter Jackson like you do. I like the Lord of the Rings movies with their little hobbits and their ears and all that stuff. I like, of course, Peter Jackson's gore flicks from the 80s and 90s, like Dead Alive and Bad Taste. This is a bit more, reminds me a lot more of Heavenly Creatures era Peter Jackson, though, and Frighteners. And I thought there was things that worked about this movie, and there was definitely some things that didn't work about the movie. I thought what worked in the movie is Stanley Tucci and Susan Sarandon's characters, I think, are the best throughout the whole movie. And they were the only ones that I think really had a performance. Especially Stanley Tucci. Yeah, he completely disappeared in this role. He usually kind of plays a smarmy businessman.
Yeah.
And in this one, he was really just somebody else. Different voice and countenance and everything.
Yeah, definitely didn't even recognize him.
Creepy. And I liked Susan Sarandon. I thought she brought a lot of humor and light to the movie. It was kind of a heavy, emotional movie, and she really helped kind of make it, you know, bring something else to the movie. What I think didn't work is anything in the dream reality.
Yes.
Or not dream, but the afterlife.
The CGI
You're right.
crap.
It looked kind of like a Thomas Kincaid painting. It was like kitsch art come to life. And I thought it was, I mean, for Peter Jackson, who's so well known for his visuals and for his imagination, it was just a very unimaginative view of the afterlife. And I thought that the movie, in some places, got a little too ethereal. Like when you're kind of coming in and out of the ghost world and realm, it was like you kind of were, there were some like time lapses that you didn't know were going on. and then it's all of a sudden you're months and years into the future, and it's like, whoa, wait, what happened?
Yeah, I like those 11 months happens in a quarter of a second.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe that's talking a little bit about how in eternity, years feels like minutes, but it didn't pull off very well. Yeah. And I agree. The movie reminded me heavily of What Dreams May Come, and I think What Dreams May Come is the better of the two if you're going to watch both of them.
Just random Asian
but
kid
I thought
there
it was,
to help him out.
I thought there was enough about it that was interesting, and Stanley, for Stanley Tucci's performance alone, I think it's interesting. I think the first third of the movie is the most interesting, and there's this kind of fun little Hitchcock scene at the end in the house with the other daughter.
Oh,
and I thought that was a good sequence.
Yeah, the break in and sneak through.
And there was a lot of good tension there, and I wish that there would have been more of that in the movie. For a movie that was about such dark subject matter, too much of it was just too light and ethereal and, dream pop music playing in the background, and
Oh, yeah, the Enya or whatever it is. I don't know why people... I
think there was some Cocteau Twins in there.
The afterlife is not going to have Enya, I'm sure of it. But no, I was also bugged by the fact that there was points in the movie where they're like, let's take a moment in this really tense and stressful situation and prolong it by putting this reunion between the mother and father. They split up for that moment and then they come back together.
Which I completely missed. I never knew. I couldn't tell that she had ever left.
Yeah, she just kind of drives off in the taxi. And that's about it. But no, they prolong these scenes out where you're like, quit hugging and catch the killer. Are you kidding me? It was
I agree.
I was annoyed.
I agree. But I think a C+ is a fair enough grade. It's not A-list Peter Jackson, but it's
no such thing.
okay. So